Yo, it is your boy Nayzel. First of all, thanks for tuning in. We got Mr. Joshua Singh here. This man needs no introduction because this is his show. I'm just hijacking it. All right, Josh, to be honest, I've been wanting to do this chat with you.
For a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Like the last time we spoke was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
And
something happened.
Something happened, bro. You sparked the light.
And now you're interviewing me.
No, I'm interviewing you. Like, who would have thought? The key difference between me and Josh is he's got hair and I don't.
Yeah.
So
that's a fundamental difference.
It's a fundamental difference. You're married?
Yeah.
I'm not married, so
Single. Ready to mingle.
I'm ready to mingle.
That dating app you like, bro.
Oh, yeah. You got that idea, right? You're gonna go with it. All right, man. All right, now let's get into it. I know we've got 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
All right, Josh, we're gonna get into some real questions. All right, you ready for this?
Let's talk about it.
All right, you talk a lot about finding your why, finding your purpose. I've seen all your content that you post online, and you've got a big effort about people finding their purpose.
Yeah.
Can you please, for the audience, tell us your purpose, your why, please?
I think it's very broad, but in summary, if I was to say it, it's helping people find their why, in a nutshell. And really, I like igniting fire within, and I do that through conversation, through content. I do that through just being consistent every single day, showing up, right? And I think my hope, deep desire is to wake people up to purpose.
Man, that's good. That's smart. When you say wake people up to their purpose, how, if we had to flip that around, how do you, because I feel like the most deep question that comes to people's mind is, how do you stay accountable? And I know you flipped this around on me about a year and a half ago. How do you keep yourself accountable? Because it's such a broad why at the same time.
I think keeping yourself accountable is the key to growth and success. Yeah. Also having goals. I think what people don't know is I have good people around me that keep me accountable, that keep inspiring me. Because there's moments when you feel down. There's moments where you feel like you don't want to get up and do what you're called to do. Yeah. And these people are reminders for me to keep going, And also, I think the next 10 years down the line, only I can do what I can do. Only you can do what you can do, right? So I got to do it every day and do it better each day and add value to the world, because the more I do that, the more the greater the legacy. Does that make sense?
That makes
so
sense.
I think there's no mechanism for accountability, but I think relationships is the key thing here. If you don't have strong relationships, if you don't have people that you can trust around you that can speak into your life for what it is, not just for who you are, but for say the truth as it is, I think it's very, very critical.
Nice, man. That's good. To be honest, every time I listen to you, I believe that you're a really, really good storyteller.
Really?
And I think, the way you express your words, it really comes and hits people in the heart. Yeah. And I think that's a genuine gift. Is that a skill that people can develop? Like,
it is a skill that can be developed, but I think your purpose is natural to you, unique to you, and the gifts that God gives an individual contributes to making that purpose come alive, right? So for me, my gift is talking to mass crowds, preaching, or inspiring people to worship, or facilitating an experience with God. For me, those things are very natural. Like I could do that without just waking up, without any effort. So this is what I'm saying. Like, whatever you can do without an effort or without having to try hard is a indicator or ingredient to your purpose. And so you've got to find that gifting within, and it's only through discovery questions, through seasons of lives and pain and all that kind of stuff, man.
Wow, man, that's
like, you're very gifted in photos, in being creative, in inspiring. You're entrepreneurial. People don't know that. If you don't know that, you are. Yeah,
this show's actually about him.
Yeah,
we're going back to him. All right, sweet. So we're going to go into some real tough questions. Right? Yeah. I want to talk to you about, you talked a lot about, the power of relationships and things like that. Personally, in my world, I believe that you meet everybody for a reason, and the strengths and the connections you build with them is all for a reason, especially people like, you talk a lot about relationships and things like that. What would you say, like the art of letting go when people struggle is something that is like very, very difficult to get over, especially if you love somebody.
Letting go is possibly the most difficult thing a human can experience, because when you let go, you're letting go of an expectation. You're letting go of a certain idea. You're letting go of something you've developed over years, you know.
Yeah.
And I think people, when they don't let go, become toxic, become bitter. And so letting go is actually a way to find freedom and to experience true life. Like if you don't let go, God can't replace what that person or that thing is taking with something new. In fact, I believe that God sees your future as it is, and He allows people and things to be arranged so that your future isn't destructed. You know what I mean? Like, so He knows who's good for you, who's not good for you. So for me, the more I grow older and I realize, listen, you'll never figure out life. But you can trust God, and you can trust the process, and you can trust that He's going to work it all out for the better.
Quick question. Right? You've got a lot of young listeners, right, and that are like in that phase of like, you know, starting a relationship or trying to get out of a relationship. How do you help? Any advice for people that are stuck in that vicious cycle? Because
you mean relationship after relationship?
Nah, what I mean is they're finding it really hard to let somebody go, and they keep going back to that toxic trait. You know?
Yeah.
Is there anything that you can think of or anything like that that can help people grow? Because I feel like this question comes in a lot of the times where people ask about...
What are you really trying to ask me, man?
I'm trying to ask you, how do you break a vicious cycle?
That's a very powerful question.
Yeah.
I think you've got to identify that the cycles are actually in your mind, right? Yeah. And when you don't confront what's in your mind, it will take control of your life. So a lot of people think that they need that one certain person to survive, to thrive. Yeah. In fact, you don't need, you need literally just God to make things happen. You need good people around you. But I think if you don't let toxicity out of your life, you won't smell fresh. You won't be fresh. You know when you come into a room and you're a fresh breath of air. You know what I mean? Like you make an impact in the environment. You can actually literally tell who's had a bad day, who's had a good day, based on what they're carrying in their heart.
I agree with you.
And so I think when you get into a relationship, you got to assess the impact of what you want that relationship to look like.
No, I get that makes a lot of sense. Also, one more thing on that. Do you believe that, you know, when it's like when you get into relationships or when you're trying to get out of a relationship, do you reckon the vicious cycle has a lot to do with you're always trying to chase yourself? Like the idea of no one's ever going to be able to love you like you? Yeah,
so if you try to find acceptance of yourself through someone else's eyes, you're never going to be satisfied. You're never going to be accepted. I think the key thing is to accept yourself for who you are. To love yourself. If you have insecurity as a foundation to your start of a relationship, you're not going to succeed. Because foundations in life are everything. You build a business on a bad foundation, it's going to die. You build a relationship on a bad foundation, on just sex, on just money, on just what can I get out of you, it's not going to last. Trust me, bro. It's not going to last. You've got to have healthy foundations.
Wow, that's good, man. That's good. Thanks.
Everybody knows what's wrong with them.
That's good.
I don't need to tell you what's wrong with you.
That's so true.
But what I do need to help you with is how do I get you out? Let's talk about it. And we can't talk about things that you may be facing with if you're not willing to admit what's wrong. Wow,
that's good.
You see what I'm saying?
That's a good advice all around. I love it. Now, I just wanted to talk about that because I know you've got so many like people that listen to relationship advice on your page, and you know, it's all about building strong relationships and finding purpose and why through that. So I thought it was really important, especially with that type of topic, which I know people are always concerned about. The other thing I want to sort of go back is diving into you like in your younger self. You know, how did you find yourself? Do you think you found yourself? Do you think you found like, I'm Joshua Singh, I know what I want? Do you think you've got that in the bag?
It's a very, very interesting question, and the way you put it and the way you phrase it. I don't know if I can say I have myself, because I don't know what my future self looks like. Do you know what I mean? Like even when I was in my younger days, I was thinking, man, I made a lot of stupid decisions. I probably learned more in life. But one thing I wish I had was people or coaches or mentors that had different viewpoints that I could assess. You know what I mean? I think it's very healthy to have people around you that are different, but are for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
but I think I'm continuing to find myself, and I don't want to say I've reached a point, because when you say you've reached a point, that's it.
okay, drop the beat.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to go back 10 years and give your 15-year-old any advice, what would it be?
Wow, that's a very, very good thing. I wish I could have found my gift earlier and just focused on that. My biggest, and I'll be vulnerable, my biggest pain point in life has been where to focus. Because there's so many things I want to focus on, or so many things that I want to do. And my dad keeps saying this to me, focus on one particular thing. Even some of my mentors right now say, focus on one thing. I find it so difficult within myself to settle down. Maybe that's because I want to be successful in everything, you know what I mean? But you can't be successful in everything without being successful in one thing.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense.
First, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. All right, that's good. Good to know. Now, you know, everyone's been going through some hard times. You know, COVID-19, all of last year. You know, and it still feels like it's like an ever-ending cycle. You know? So what's your plan? What's your game plan for 2021? What does Joshua Singh have on the pipeline that's coming? And that's what I want to know.
First, COVID, I must say, I didn't deal with it very well, because I think being so outgoing and, you know, being connected and then now being locked in your room or in your house is a very hard concept, particularly for someone that has a plan or is quite a driver. So I'm quite a driver. This year, I think I'm going to use my time, and I'm anticipating, if there are going to be future lockdowns, that I'm going to be very productive, and I'm going to keep myself accountable. So I have calendars in place. I have tasks. I keep looking at my reminders. What are the things to do? I have certain. See, the thing. When you're young, you look at the little ticket items. Right. So I was just dealing with little problems and you know, getting them out of the way. Now that I get older and I realize, man, we have to start solving bigger problems that contribute and have wider flow-on effects in the community. I'm not looking at just regions. I'm looking at, okay, how do I impact New Zealand? How do I impact the world, you know? So it's more so, before you impact these places, you have to be ready within.
You got to do the...
You got to do the due diligence inside.
I get it. So if we dive in, like try to get you a little bit more open, right? I want to ask you this question. A lot of the times people ask, you know, what makes you successful? You know, what do you think makes you unsuccessful?
What makes me unsuccessful? You put me on the spot on that. That's a good question.
Not many people ever ask this question. So I know it's a tough one.
That's a very good question. What makes...
Because what I'm trying to get to is your audience, you know, wants to see what you can always improve on. And you're always talking about, you know, the progress, you know, and how to be better. And if you think about this question in a broader sense, what could you do better in 2021 that you think can be more successful?
Recruit.
Like
for me, it would be recruiting people. Like recruiting
sense.
people to a mission, purpose, and sense of belonging. Giving people a platform, essentially. And then getting them to realize that they have what it takes. Like, at the end of the day, the way I see myself, and I'm a big believer in platforms, not on a public scale, but I'm talking about platform sense where you give them the tools and you empower them and you give them the resource they need to do what they're called to do, right? That's what I want to do. So you do that through relationships. So, but recruiting, I'm always on the lookout for young leaders, for young people that want to make a difference with their life, like you. You're big impact, because I know you're a driver, you're entrepreneurial. I know that you have what it takes. All I've got to do is keep asking you the questions. What do you need?
You keep me accountable. He does keep me accountable.
You know what I mean?
He does keep me accountable.
You're big time, bro.
Now, what I wanted to, you know, I'm super passionate about this, right? I'm super passionate about kids. You know, I'm super passionate about South Auckland, you know, breaking negative stereotypes, things like that, you know. And I know how big you are with community. You know, is there any insights, you know, like that you can pass on, like, you know, like what does community mean to you? Like, why, what's your purpose behind community?
So it's a great question. ICLC has always been home for me. So really, ICLC exists to help people know God, find freedom, discover purpose, and make a difference, right? And these are the 4 steps, and we have different programs to help people, you know, experience that. But out of all of that comes a community. And community to me, in essence, is a family where you can come home. So a lot of people that come to ICLC, they find that this is a home away from home. So nurturing that, protecting that atmosphere, making sure that we are keeping it as it is, a family environment is very important. Nice. But you need family because they are like your foundation, and they will keep you grounded.
Nice. No, that's good.
Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, Josh, this is your show. How are we doing on time?
Yeah.
How are we doing on time?
We're gonna finish up now.
Okay,
right?
so we're gonna hit some 5 questions. I reckon 5 fast questions.
Okay.
All right. Tell the audience what they don't know about you. Something. One thing.
I'm a drummer.
He's a drummer?
I play the drums. You know that?
I didn't know that.
I'm actually a drummer.
Okay. What's your favorite ice cream?
Cookies and cream.
Oh, cookies and cream.
I like that. That's my favorite.
What's your favorite place in New Zealand to visit?
I would go to Queenstown any day.
Any day?
Yeah.
Okay.
I fly down.
What favorite person to spend time with besides your wife?
Wow, that is a question. I don't know. I don't know who I'd spend time with. Holy moly.
Yourself!
Yeah. No. I really don't know who I'd want to spend time with. I mean, I'd love to meet a political leader one day.
Nice, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm yet to meet Jacinda Ardern.
Oh, yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, last one. Money. Have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
Keep your family forever. Or take your dog for a walk.
Wow. You had to go that low. You can't do all 3?
You could do it.
Yeah.
You could do all 3. See, that's exactly the answer I was looking for.
Yeah, I do all 3, bro.
Right,
I'll do all 3.
Sweet, man. Thanks for your time, bro.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you
this was the takeover, but
yeah,
honestly.
I appreciate it, man.